the Ontario League. Lines out ahead, it's poked out by Cody Glass. So Canada has extra players here, and there are 9 scratches today. The United States has a large roster as well. The Swedes and Finns have more pared down units, drafted from different places. Basically, if you're drafted out of major junior, as a teenager, you can only play in junior or the NHL. You can't play in the American League. However, players from Europe, college players, and players drafted out of Tier 2 junior or the U.S. National Team Development Program can play in the American League if they choose. So a guy like Chalowski could play in the American League next year if Detroit decided to put him there.
I've been very vocal about this. I don't think 19-year-olds are ready to play in the American Hockey League. If you're not ready to play in the NHL, I don't think you're ready to play in the American Hockey League. I think it's a mistake, and I've seen too many players go that route, and it's helped them in very rare cases.
No one got hurt spending too long in junior, college, or the American League.
Yeah.
Or Europe.
You don't. I mean, we talked to Sammy Salo yesterday. He was 23 years old when he came over.
Yeah.
What did he say? He played a handful of games in the American League?
On injury rehab. Now knocked down by Timmins. And Timmins goes ahead to Kachuk. Boris Kachuk, who's playing his second game in the World Junior Summer Showcase. Brings it around. Kachuk played for Sault Ste. Marie last year in the Ontario League. Scored 35 goals in 66 games. Mom was an Olympic speed skater for the Soviet Union in 1988 in Calgary.
The thing about the upcoming draft, you know, in a year where you talk about all the centermen and defensemen, the next group of players right now that it's been identified early for the 2018 draft are wingers. Right. And I'm never taking a winger over a stud defenseman, ever.
Traffic chips out ahead, trying to find Matthew Phillips. That bounce away from him. Now Kyra loose in front. And the puck bounces back to center ice. Canada, by the way, on its roster for this summer camp has no draft-eligible players. Everyone in the camp has been drafted, so no 17-year-olds or late birthdays at 18 for Canada. Shot by Liljegren, that's off a stick and wide.
There are no 1999 defensemen here either. So every player here is a 1990. Every defenseman is a 1998 born defenseman.
It looks as though Canada will have a 19-year-old heavy lineup for the upcoming World Junior.
It certainly looks that way. I mean, we know that you invite all the players. That number that gets to the December camp is 28 to 30 players max.
Right.
Unless somebody really shows in that 99 group the dressing room. Remember when you were younger, you had to put the skates on when it was cold, and fingers were burning cold.
Now, the question, they've got a regulation size rink, but when a junior team comes, what size kitchen do you have? Those boys are hungry. I think you order in. Gustav Lindstrom, Detroit's second-round pick, brings it in. Number 5, Lindstrom with an N, not Lindstrom. Being watched by Detroit GM Ken Holland and others. The Red Wings really on the march, looking for puck-moving D to replace what really was the core of their team in their Stanley Cup dynasty years. Lindstrom, Rafalski, Stewart, Chelios, all those guys that can move the puck.
They sure could. They're not easy to find. That's why you see them go early in the draft when they're real good players.
Here comes Elias Pettersson, the Vancouver 5th overall pick. Bumping in the corner with Canada's Mason Shaw. Now from the point, that shot tipped from Linus Holtberg and kicked away by DiPietro. Talking to Thomas Monton yesterday, asking who the most skilled player in his team might be. Without hesitation, he said Pettersson. That shot taken by Connor Timmins, knocked away by Gustafsson. Another chance for the goal line this time. And the drive by Robert Thomas kicked away by Gustafsson. Here's Phillips back with it. 2 goals against the Finns on Wednesday. Now a centering hand walking in and shooting for that just wide is Jordan Kyrou. For most of these Canadian players, after this, a little break before they go to NHL rookie camps or to the Western League or Junior League training camp. It's been a busy summer for most of them. NHL development camp. Now this. Now pass bounces right in front. Tap home by Sam Steele in the open.
The template that's worked for Team Canada in the past. And, you know, you have to be a good goaltender at 18 years of age in that year in the World Junior, and I think Michael DiPietro qualifies.
Jacques Lucali made a back-to-back World Junior for Canada. Won a gold medal in 2015. DiPietro makes that stop on Elias Pettersson. Playing back across for Holtberg. Knocked away from him. In comes Robert Thomas across the line for Shaw. Shaw drops it back. Phillips in, trying to pull it around Holtberg. Falls and goes hard into the end board.
I would have liked to have seen Phillips shoot the puck there. Robert Thomas was going to the net. There was a chance to put the goalie in a...
Jonathan Ang would take Canada to a 3-1 lead here in the second period. The temptation, you know, with a player whose dad played in the NHL is their goal scorer
in the National Hockey League. And, you know, we talk about different, you know, the punishing type player he was, the rugged player he was, but 500 goals.
He's one of 4 players in history to score 50 goals and get 200 penalty minutes in the same season. It's hard to do. Walking in and firing that shot high as Jesper Boqvist. Minute and a half to go in the Swedish power play. Oscar Steen to Pettersson. Elias Pettersson down to the goal line. Back for Lundestrom. Off the top now, Boqvist. Lindstrom. Pettersson shoots, and DiPietro makes the stop and gobbles up the rebound.
Considered the Junior A championship, which is, call it Tier 2, or as you just went through.
Lead pass finds Pettersson. Trying to center it, and that bounced off the stick of Lundestrom. Lundestrom was drafted eligible in 2018, a 17-year-old for the Swedes. They're still stung by that loss last year. Talking to Thomas Monton yesterday, the Swedish head coach, they're still over that loss to Canada in the semis. That was a bitter one for them to take. Glass in fires to put that high and wide. But pretty good chance that they'll have 7 or 8 players back from. Moves it ahead and finds Kyrou. Here's Eric Branstrom back with it. Across to Pettersson. Kavestelus back for Branstrom, was already off. The puck bounced behind him. Kyrou works it. So Toadback plays it back, and a backhand shot from Kaspik goes wide. Here's Kyrou back with it for Kaspik. The point he goes for Mahura. Josh Mahura lays that down for Tanner Kaspik. Now loose back in front. Steele with a chance. And Gustafsson got a piece of that to knock it wide. Back in front. And the shot by Jordan Kyrou is blocked. Good pressure by the Canadian line of Kyrou. Kaspik. And now Steele jumps in. Just think about a player drafted, say, out of Sweden, like an Eric Branstrom, who's from Nasio, Sweden, a small town. He's going to be playing in Vegas for the next couple of years.
I think he was asked what he knew about Vegas, and he answered,
I saw the hangover. I saw the hangover. Maybe not what the Commerce wants you to think about, but. Gotcha. For Ang. Gives that to Mete. Drink wide pass in behind Ang. Liljegren back with it. Timothy Liljegren opened the scoring for the Swedes in this game in the first period. Now Cal Foote goes back to pick it up. Foote. Pivots back and leaves the puck for Ang. Straight year. He was an assistant coach prior to that for the Canadian junior team.
Coach of the Memorial Cup champion Halifax Mooseheads in 2013.
Moved on to Drummondville, where he's the head coach and general manager there.
Tell you what, that Halifax Mooseheads has got a factory going.
Boqvist works in now. Jesper Boqvist, poke check there by Connor Timmins.
And we know Nathan McKinnon, and we know Jonathan Drouin, but we forget about Jakub Voracek and, you know, Timo Meier, Nico Hischier, who's the first overall pick.
Did you mention Jonathan Drouin?
I did, yeah. But I'll tell you what, they have, in my view, they have 4 first-round draft picks coming up in the 2018 draft from that team.
Slaps across, and Pettersson with a quick shot. Carter Hart comes. It's against Finland at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific time here at the Summer Showcase. Here in the third period, a 3-3 tie. And racing to it is Connor Timmins of the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds.
And Sean Duguay's going to go play for Wisconsin for the newly appointed U.S. Olympic team head coach, Tony Granato.
Granato is going to stay on full-time in Wisconsin and coach the U.S. Olympic team. Chris Chelios will be one of his assistant coaches. Shelly will want to play.
That's what I thought. You know, he played in 1984. I thought it would be a great story to follow his conditioning.
Now a chance, and busting in for the Swedes is Jesper Bratt in, and the rebound score. Frederick Carl.
If you didn't know where the puck was, just find him. He's on his stick the vast majority of the time.
Really the old scout Baldy taught me. I don't. Long-time scout said, Pettersson comes in, gets put in the high stick there, and there'll be a penalty coming to Canada. Making passes, do what you do that got you there.
So true.
But the singers want to dance, and the dancers want to sing.
It's what karaoke has created.
Elias Pettersson up for Jesper Boqvist. The Swedes back on the power play here in a 4-4 tie in the third period. Pettersson lost the puck, and Cal Foote sends it down the ice. Hart didn't appreciate that. Liljegren shot through the traffic. That's tipped wide as Karlstrom got a stick on that. Pettersson. Lays it back. Westerlund. His long wrist shot. Hits hard up high, and play continues. Chalowski now ahead for Suzuki. And here's Connor Timmins with Colorado's second-round pick. High in the air. Westerlund goes back. Pitton comes in. The Speeds have got a chance there, and it's knocked away by Gustafsson. 6.5 to go here in the third period. Canada with a 5-4 lead. The lead is seesawing back and forth here this afternoon, as it did Canada's opener against the Finns on Wednesday.